Hey guys, welcome to the new video, and I hope this video is going to be really very important video because every IT guy should aware of all these topics, and I hope this video will really helpful to your career. And okay, let's get into the video. And first, we are going to see what is web. Web is nothing but it's a system. It's an information system. This system has documents and web pages. I mean, the web pages that is dumped into this system, and it can be accessed by using the internet. Okay, you can think it's like a system which has a lot of web pages in it, and we can access those web pages by using the by through the internet by using the URL of that web page. URL means it is address, it is a link which takes you to the specific page. That's why the address for that specific page is called as a URL. Web you can think it has a system that has a lot of web pages in it, and we can access those web pages by using the through the internet by using the URL. Okay, and next, what is internet? Internet is a global network of networks. Okay, okay, first, what is network? Network is nothing but a connection of two or more computers. Okay, you can let's say if there is a one computer means it is not a network. Okay, two or more computers, then only it can be called as a then only it called as a network. Okay, the internet is a global network of networks. Okay, lot of networks are interconnected. Networks are in networks of networks. Then you can think how large it is. Okay, and this is called as the internet. It uses the internet protocols. Okay, there have a certain protocol that is called as the internet protocol. Okay, next, what is URL? URL is nothing but it's a URL means the abbreviation of URL is Uniform Resource Locator, and it suggests that which is used to find specific page on the web. Let's say we have dump of web pages in the web system, so that how can we identify or how can we access a specific page in that dump? That's where the URL comes in. Okay, and URL gives the unique link or address to go to that to find that specific page on the web. Okay, we have a lot of millions of pages in the web. That's why URL comes in. And next, what is web browser? Web browser, it's a software that used to for browsing. Okay, it's basically a tool used to browse and for displaying a web pages, whatever that available over the internet and web. And this is what the users of web browser. Next, what is web server? Okay, it's like you can think like it's a software that searches and finds and provide the documents to the browser. Like we have lot of resources or documents in a one server, and you can say that the if the server if the server if the server if the server getting some request means it has a lot of web pages. Okay, and the role of the web server is to serve the different documents as requested by the browser client and whatever it is. Okay, basically it accept the request and return the response for that request. That's what the role of web server. Okay, and next, what is HTML parser? Okay, parser is nothing but let's say, okay, if we are sending a request to a server and it returns the HTML document. Okay, to the browser. Okay, once the HTML document is received to the browser, and there we have the HTML parser, which parses the HTML code. Parses means processes the HTML code. Okay, HTML code into a UI. Okay, we can see that only the UI in the browser window. That it comes as a file from the server, and that file is processed by the HTML parser. Okay. Then next, CSOM parser, as it is, you can suggest, you can think that it is a parser. It is a parser or a processor which is used to parse the CSS file. Okay, you can you can coordinate with that HTML parser. Okay, next we have a JavaScript engine. As you already know that the browser knows HTML, CSS, and only JavaScripts, right? And we have HTML parser for processing HTML files, and we have CSOM parser for processing CSS files, and we have JS engine to process the JS codes, okay, JS files basically. If we got JS files from the server, this JS engine is correspondent to load that JavaScript file. Next, what is TCP or IP? In the last video, we have discussed about the HTTP, and those HTTP uses the TCP protocol. Okay, basically, there are a lot of other protocol as well, others as well, but the most used protocol is TCP or IP. Okay, this is this is one of the protocol that used by the HTTP. Okay, and TCP, we can define, say it's a protocol that defines how data should be transferred over the. This is a protocol that defines, basically why we what is the main thing of HTTP means. HTTP, it's a protocol that should be followed while sharing the data between the client and the server, right? And there HTTP uses the TCP. This TCP defines the rules for how data should be transferred over the internet. Okay, this is also related to HTTP protocol. Okay, the TCP is used in HTTP. Okay, next, what is DNS? DNS means domain name server. It is an address book for a website. Okay, let's say if you are requesting flipkart.com means it is hosted on a server. The server, it doesn't have a alphabetical name. Okay, it has IP address. Okay, and to basically humans is very tough to remain those all those IP address, all those complex numbers, so that we have a domain name, and this domain name is transferred or translated into a IP address of that website. Okay, every website should host on a server, and that server didn't have a doesn't have a name, rather than it has IP address. Okay, so that we use domain name server, and we will forward that domain name server to that particular IP address. Okay, once we ping that domain name, it will forward the request to that IP address, so that we will reach that server IP. Okay, we will reach that server. What is the role of domain name server means? It holds the information of IP address of every domain name. And if we put the flipkart.com in a search bar, means, let's say, it the DNS translate that domain name into a IP address. This is what the role of domain name server. It returns the IP address of that specific domain name, and after that the request is sent to that IP address. Basically, this is how the DNS works. Next, we have HTTP, as we already discussed in the previous video. It's a protocol that define that should be followed between the client and server, while client is trying to connect with this server. Okay. Next, we have what is ECMA. ECMA, you can see there are, a lot of people say that ECMA script or ECMA is nothing but it's a association. ECMA means The full form of ECMA is European Computer Manufacturing Association. Okay. It's association which defines the standard in JavaScript. Okay. It is the authority for setting the standard in the JavaScript. Like this ECMAScript JavaScript is accepted globally accepted standard. This ECMA means European Computer Manufacturing Association is supposed to define those standard protocol. This is association which defines the standard, uh, which defines the globally accepted standard. Okay. Next we have DOM tree. What is DOM tree? Dormitory, it's like a platform that we have in the browser which allows programs or user to access and update the HTML elements which is rendered in the window. Okay. Using the DOM, we can update the you know we can update the elements dynamically. But once you refreshes the page, it will gone. It will not affect the source code of that website. It is just for the sake of seeing. Okay. And we have also Sound tree, which is similar to a down tree. We can hit L plus to update the CSS elements on the fly, but it doesn't affect the real source code which is hosted in the server. Okay. Next we have a term called IP address. Okay. And IP address, it's a unique address that is given to every users to identify them, basically. Let's say if 20 peoples are connected over a one network, or let's say you can think that lot of millions of people connected in internet. But how can we identify specifically a person in that network? There the IP address comes in. Every user that is connected to that internet will have a unique ID. That is what IP address mean to be. Okay. And we can identify that person details using that IP address. Okay. And next going to MAC address. It is a unique physical address. Okay. This is something related to hardware. Okay. IP address, it will change from time to time as you disconnected and get connected again and again. It will change after disconnecting and connecting again. But MAC address is address which given to your which assigned to your hardware computer. I mean, it's a physical address that is used to identify your physical device. Okay. Basically, it's an address that is given to your laptop or a system or whatever it is, or your device or anything. That is it is same. It is permanent. Okay. It will not change, and it is basically used to identify your physical device. Okay. Next we have a port. Okay. What does port means? Okay. Port is nothing but it's a communication endpoint. Okay. From the port, you can it is like a technical, you can think like it is a gate where the communication happens. Okay. Where the communication ends or starts. Okay. You can think of headset port where you can plug in your headset pin, and you can think that headset port as a also port, because it is the communication endpoint. Okay. If we didn't have that port means, how can we communicate with our mobile phone by using the headphone, wired headphones? It is impossible, right? So that it is like a technical gate where the communication starts and ends. Okay. Next we have a URL. URL, as you said, it's a uniform resource locator. It is given to every specific web page, and it is unique. And this can be used as address to reach that specific page in the web. Okay. And that's all I wanted to say in this video. I hope this video really helps to your, to your career, and thank you so much.